I can't point to any one thing in apologetics that singularly put me over the top on intellectual belief, except for the Messianic prophecies. When I was exposed to the Messianic prophecies, I realized that God had supernaturally inspired the Bible, and then I knew it was the Word of God. But that is not to say that the other components aren't just as important. That's just what tipped the balance of the scales for me. So many other things are very important. The extra-biblical sources for the existence of Christ, the archaeological evidence that corroborates persons, places, and events in the Bible, especially the book of Acts, and how Sir William Ramsay, the famed archaeologist of Asia Minor, began as a doubter. He had been a student of the Tübingen School of theology in Germany, and I could have the pronunciation wrong. He thought it was mostly myth, and after he studied it, he found out that Luke was not just kind of accurate, but one of the most reliable historians there are. And so you see those kind of things happen throughout. That's extra-biblical, confirming the events and places in the Bible, and the extra-biblical references to Christ and His death, and the philosophical proofs for the existence of God and for the possibility of miracles. Those things don't particularly impress me. I mean, they're very important. That's one thing I mentioned in my book, that all of these things, a comprehensive apologetic is important, including theology, because part of my problem with unbelief was related to misunderstandings I had about theology. So getting doctrine correct is very important, and understanding that the unbeliever, the non-believer, may be wrong about what he thinks the gospel is. You need to explain. Maybe if you just tell him what it's all about, he'll become a believer right there. I believed I was convinced I knew what the Bible said and what the gospel was without ever examining it myself. And I was wrong. I relied on what other people said, people who had a vested interest in criticizing it, and who, for whatever reason, wanted to evangelize towards skepticism. And so I misapprehended what saving faith was, what it meant to believe in Jesus, what Jesus' nature was. I didn't understand that He was fully God and fully human. All of those things were inhibiting me. You can't even say I didn't believe in Jesus. I didn't know anything about Him. How could I possibly believe in Him? So I didn't affirmatively disbelieve in Him. I just wasn't really exposed to Him. Not in an age of accountability. I may have been exposed in church, but it didn't stick. But just don't give up on people, and don't assume that they know something they don't know. So, comprehensive approach to apologetics. Doctrine, theology, the extra-biblical proofs, messianic prophecy, philosophical proofs, all of these things and more, I think, are important. And you might find a skeptic that is weak in a few areas and he just needs a little nudge in some area. So don't foreclose any possibility when you're evangelizing.